In this bulletin, the first remanufacturer in China discusses COVID-19, consumer habits, bio-based toner cartridges, and being innovative. Hello, I'm with Arnald Ho, who was one of the first in Asia and certainly the first in China to start remanufacturing some 39 years ago. Arnold, you must have been just a spring chicken, very, very young when you started all that time ago. Welcome.
Thank you. Still young.
So how are you coping with the COVID-19? Are you personally okay? Is everything all right?
Yes, fine. I'm okay. My family is fine. And also our colleagues are all good.
Oh, that's good. Now, it's interesting to look at the habits of consumers during this time where a lot of people are working from home, students are at home and this sort of thing. Do you think that consumers are going to change their printing habits, and how permanent do you think this may be into the future?
Yeah, for sure, because a lot of us shut down in many countries. So people will only work at home, or even though the students, the kids have to learn at home. So there are a lot of inkjet printing at home now, while the laser and also the copier, due to the shutdown of the office of the factories, so definitely will much less printing than before. I heard probably for laser it was down by 40 to 60%, and obviously not much copiers be used at home, and so copier probably will be more serious affected. And but inkjets are booming because it is good for home user to print the inkjets homework.
So do you think this is?
And
Sorry.
Yeah. And I think
in the future will people go back to the old ways of doing things once the virus has gone behind us?
Well, I think when this pandemic's over, we don't know when, but I think everybody wants to, to as soon as possible. Then things will get resumed to normal. Students go back to the school, and people go back to work, and that the kind of commercial printing will be resumed to normal. While there may be some changes, on technology-wise, people now get used to work at home, so they will have a more convenience to take care of the family and the company issue. So it will change a bit, but will not a big change before and after the pandemic.
Oh, that's interesting. So how about you there at Print-Rite? Are you back up to speed now, your factory, the logistics, the shipping? How are things going there for you at Print-Rite?
Well, we are getting back for productions on February 10th around. So actually, we worked before to prepare the reopen of the factories. Everything's seems in order now. At the beginning, yes, of course, because of the shutdown, because of the logistics, there's some delay. But I think after April, everything will be resumed the same. But I heard that since the shutdown of the Western countries begins on March, end of March, so that will affect the business around May, June. We believe that if everything's all right, if this pandemic can be end around May, June time, business will get back, to normal around August, September.
Now, you're an innovative guy. As I said at the beginning, you were the first in China to start remanufacturing with cartridges and all the rest of it. I remember featuring you on our magazine cover not that long ago when you celebrated 35 years. And then we put you on the front cover again when you were getting into 3D printing. But now you're back getting involved in biotoners and bio cartridges. Now, this has been around for 10 years or so, and but what is different now? What's the difference between a biotoner and a bio cartridge or a bio-based cartridge? Can you explain the difference to me, and where are you at with this innovation?
Yeah, you know, our company, for example, you were just mentioning that we were the first one to start the remanufacturing in China for the printed cartridges. And, you know, even though for 3D is kind of an environmental friendly solution to make things, to add material on it, but not reduce the material. So Print-Rite is already quite environmental concerned company. For example, the digital printing on the industrial, on fabrics. All this is to solve the problems, you know, short run, fast, and also environmental friendly. So this bio-based toner and bio-based cartridge. Good question. You mentioned that these bio-based toners we talked about around 10 years ago, and we started the research at that time. And we came out some toners to be used in the cartridge, but because of the concept, because of the raw material expensive, and well, since the consumer, they don't want to pay a little bit more for these environmental friendly ideas. So bio-based toners have been talked about for a long time, but not really happened in the market. And now we are, you know, now our bio-based cartridge is not only on the toner, which is came to be bio-based. Well, for your information, at around 20-25% of your products be made by the natural ingredients, and you can print it as bio-based. Okay, so now we are not
the actual plastic casing and everything is also bio-based as well, not just the toner.
Yes. Now this time we are not just make the toners to be bio-based, but also the raw material to be bio-based. This is another challenge because you know you cannot make the cartridge dissolve within 2 years' time, right? But definitely we want at least certain percentage of the material can disappear after 20-30 years. Unlike today, the cartridge, the plastic probably lasts for 100 years, still exists. So this is, well, at least for us, is one step ahead in order to resolve this kind of plastic, issues in the world. We are trying to now around 20%, and we may, at least we can continue the research and development. We hope one day that we can have at least 40-50% of bio-based or even more. And on one hand, on the other hand, the convenience to use this kind of material can be maintained so that we can get a balance.
Yeah. You're an innovative guy, as I said. All the innovations I think, I've seen taken place. How many patents does Print-Rite actually have now?
I can't give the exact figure, but should be in the range of over 3,000 patents.
That's amazing, because some other companies talk about all the patents that they've got, but you have actually developed your own patents. You haven't actually just acquired or bought patents from anyone else. You've actually developed them yourself in-house, and that's a significant difference. And you said over 3,000 patents. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. We are not acquiring the patents from other sources, but only developed it in-house. Of course, that is there's a pattern that you have to go through at the beginning. About 20 years ago, the quality of the pattern not as good as today. So this is a learning curve when you want to survive in the business world. Our approach, when you see the difference between us and our peers, company, that we don't spend much time to argue with the OEM on the patents lawsuits. We mostly will find out the solutions to get around it. So that is, we don't think that to spend a lot of time and resources to argue the patents will be benefit to the customers, and even though not good for us as well. So there's I always told my colleagues, when human invent it, human can solve it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Arnald Ho, the founding CEO of Print-Rite, for joining me today. Thank you very much for your time, Arnold.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you, all people watching this video.
谢谢，再见。
Yes, keep safe.
Keep safe.